we'll start by describing the topics in today's presentation, and you can see there it's listed. And first, we'll look briefly at some of the highlights of the Vigor2120 series router. Then we'll look at some of the hardware features, then firmware features, security features, management features, and then finally we'll look at some applications that can be used with the Vigor2120. So now we'll just start by looking at some of the highlights of the Vigor21 series routers. This router provides a cost-effective NBN router solution for the SOHO or home user. It is a robust and reliable high-speed broadband router that is able to meet the demands of a small business network. And as you can see from the picture in this diagram, that it's got a stylish exterior design, and it's similar to that of the Vigor AP900 dual band access point. So it's actually using the same casing, so it looks similar. And the Vigor2120 is a VPN Firewall router, providing network security through a robust firewall and web content filtering features. And I've listed here some of the highlights, and these are, it's got a comprehensive VPN facilities, it's got object-based firewall, an integrated 4-port gigabit LAN switch, and it also has a USB 2.0 port for a flash drive, printer, or a 3.5 or 4G USB modem. And also it's got concurrent dual band Wi-Fi in the Vigor21N Plus model. So now I'll go into more detail on these features later in the presentation. So now I'll just quickly go through some of the hardware features in this router. And as you can see in this diagram, it has a gigabit WAN interface, which can be connected to the NBN or can be connected via an external modem to any service such as ADSL or satellite connections. This will provide connectivity to the internet using IPv4 or IPv6, and also allows you to connect or access cloud-based applications on the internet. And also, as you can see here, the router includes a 4-port gigabit LAN switch. So let's go to the next slide. And also this router includes a USB 2 port, which is just shown there in the diagram. And this can be used for 3G or 4G mobile broadband connection. And it can also be configured as a backup connection, but can be used as a primary internet when one is not enabled. And the USB port can also be used to share a USB printer, as well as share files on an attached USB drive. And the current firmware does not include Samba, but it allows you to share files using FTP. And the Samba support will be added in a future firmware release, but at this stage we don't have an exact date when the firmware will be available. Now just go to the next slide and just continue on with the hardware features. And the Vigor2120 N Plus router includes concurrent dual band Wi-Fi, which is 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. And it provides a throughput when both Wi-Fi bands are utilized. So the typical throughput is about 380 megabits per second. Now just quickly describe some of the firmware features of the 2120 router. So the first thing you notice when you log into the router is the web interface, and that is the dashboard that's just shown in this diagram. It's a common feature of all new DrayTek router products and provides at a glance most of the information you require about the status of the router, as well as quick access links to the more common configuration pages. And the 2120N Plus router will let you configure up to 8 SSIDs So you have 4 SSIDs for each Wi-Fi band. So you have 4 SSIDs for the 2.4 gigahertz band and 4 SSIDs for the 5 gigahertz band, which give you a total of 8. And another useful feature in the 2120 is the VLAN capability. And as you can see on this screenshot of the VLAN configuration page, you can configure up to 8 VLANs and assign each LAN port and Wi-Fi SSID to a VLAN and associate that VLAN to an IP subnet. The two subnets can be configured, and these can be selected in the subnet pull-down menu, which is on towards the right-hand side. You've got the subnet column there. You select LAN 1 or LAN 2. And these VLANs can be configured as either tagged or untagged. Although for most of the installations, you'll most likely only need untagged VLANs. Now let's go to the next one. And as you can see in this slide here, the Vigor2120 supports 2 VPN tunnels. And the IPsec throughput is more than 100 megabits per second and can reach up to 200 megabits per second depending on the IPsec security mode selected. Okay, and another essential feature of this router is the bandwidth management. This is essential for any small business that needs to prioritize certain traffic types in their network. And the router supports VoIP QoS and session and bandwidth limits. And you can see in this diagram we've got 3 VLANs. You've got the VoIP in green, web traffic in blue, and email in purple. And you've got your 2 VLANs going to 2 different networks. Okay, so and also included in the bandwidth management is the app QoS. And here a pre-configured list is available where you can select the application you wish to apply QoS to. And this list includes some of the more common applications and cover both traceable and untraceable applications. So you can see here it lists things like DNS, FTP, HTTP. So it's a long list of applications you can apply quality of service to. So now I'll just quickly go through some of the security features in the Vigor2120 router. And there are a number of security features. And first of all, I'll go through the wireless security feature in the 2120N Plus router. Many of these features are standard in all DrayTek Wi-Fi routers, and as you can see in this diagram, it includes WPA2, 64 and 128-bit web encryption, MAC address blocking, hidden SSID, and 802.1x authentication. It's also worth noting it supports up to 64 MAC entries, so you can have 64 devices connected at any one time to the router. And here I have a screenshot of the security settings showing you the options that are available. So you can see, so for SSID one, you've got the WPA. You can select the type of encryption there, then put the appreciate key below, and below that you've got the web encryption settings. And also, just quickly go through the firewall, and the comprehensive firewall security will protect your network from any threats on the internet. And the firewall filter rules can be configured to include app enforcement, URL content filter, and web content filter. And this diagram shows you just an illustration of the sort of applications the firewall can block. and the app enforcement is a layer 7 control. Okay, now here we have a screenshot of the app enforcement configuration page. And as you can see here, there are a large number of applications that can be selected to be included in the firewall settings. These include internet messenger applications, peer-to-peer applications, such as BitTorrent, etc. And it's only a partial screenshot. It's quite a long list of applications you can include. And you can also select various protocols, and the other tabs have a variety of other applications, as you can see in this screenshot. The web content filter can be used to block whole categories of websites, for example, sports, online shopping, and so on. The web content filter does require an annual subscription, but the router does come with a 30-day trial. So the user can try it for 30 days before they decide if they need to buy the license or not. And you can see it's called Global View Web Content Filter. And I'll just go to the next one. And here we look at some of the categories of the websites that can be blocked by the web content filter. And you can select some of or all of the required sites by clicking on the categories as shown here. So here I've selected all of those under some of the under child protection, which you've got a tick next to them. And they can be applied to the firewall configuration settings. Now I'll just quickly go over some of the management features in the Vigor2120 router. And this router supports TR069, so it can be managed by ACS-SI, which is a remote management tool. This allows you to schedule firmware upgrades, be notified of any events such as disconnections by the alarm manager. It also allows you to easily create VPN connections, as well as many other settings. So, but ACS-SI is a package you'll need to purchase separately to the router. And other management tools available in the router are listed here. And this includes HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, Telnet, SSH, and SNMP. Yeah, we're not going into details here, but I think that most of you are probably familiar with most of these management options. And so now I'll just quickly go over some applications where the Vigor2120 can be used. So as shown here, one application shown here is the triple play application. So here we have the Vigor2120 router, providing the home with various services such as internet access, VoIP, IPTV, online gaming. The multi-VLAN feature is used to provide VLANs for each type of service. So you can see here we have a video LAN, a VoIP LAN, and data LAN. And it's shown by the different colors, like the green for video, red for VoIP, and blue is data. And it's applied to various devices within the house. And the VLANs will also improve performance on the network as well. So here we show a typical application by the provision of internet access. So here students can access the internet as part of their studies. And the Vigor2120 is well suited for households with NBN access. And another application is file sharing, and that could be quite useful. So at the moment, only FTP supported, but in future, Samba support will be added to share a attached USB drive. The example we have here is sharing recipes in the home over the local network. And as we mentioned earlier, the Vigor2120 router is ideal for home offices utilizing the NBN connection. It also provides VPN capability as well as other features required for a home-based business.